Motivational quotes. We've all seen them online, and we've probably seen our friends and family sharing them on social media. You may have even received a birthday card or a letter where a motivational quote is the main focus. But these quotes are not able to motivate you on their own. They can sow the seed of an idea, and for that to grow, you need to put in effort or work. To focus that effort into productivity and keep up the momentum, you need self-discipline. Most people will struggle with engaging in a repetitive action over a period of time, even when the goal they are working for is something brilliant. This could be trying to keep motivated through an academic course or working in a job role so that you can secure enough money to invest in a mortgage or even start up your own business. Believe me, I worked for over 5 years in a tough customer service job with the intention of saving money for a mortgage to get away from greedy private landlords. Eventually, I did, but if I had been better at self-discipline, I probably could have got there a lot more quickly and a lot less painfully. You see, self-discipline is the key to unlocking your potential. Discipline is a controlled form of effort that requires self-restraint and an obedience to specific rules. A great example of this is a schedule. You follow the rules, you get everything done. There should be little or no excess stress because you know what you need to do and at what time. It's all geared towards your ultimate goal. The problem is, the word discipline reminds us of negative things, military operations, boarding schools, and strict dictatorships. It also sounds distant from human behaviour. We are animals who react impulsively in many parts of our lives. People with discipline tend to be religious or martial artists, athletes, not the average person. In this video, we're going to discuss and explore ways that you can gain self-discipline. This mindset will help you with a variety of challenging times in your life. The philosophy of Stoicism looks to find inner peace through living an uncomplicated life of hard work and level-headedness. This video is heavily linked to Stoicism because the movement is one of the best examples of self-control and effort. There are plenty of books on the subject, both historical and theoretical. Marcus Aurelius was an emperor in ancient Rome, and he wrote a series of essays called Meditations. These are centred on being logical, his place in the universe, and of course, Stoic teachings. We should discipline ourselves in small things, and from these progress to things of greater value. The dictionary defines self-discipline as the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. When you are using this method to reach a goal or improve your life in general, it requires 2 things: drive and effort. The drive to actively stop yourself engaging in activities that aren't beneficial to your goal, and the effort to actively seek out and work towards your goal. Stoicism has it right when they talk about starting with the small things first. Just like building up muscle strength by doing light exercises and then increasing your weights, self-discipline is most effective when you overcome your smaller weaknesses and develop daily habits. We have a video all about creating positive momentum, and this can help you with your motivation too. Self-control, work, and aim were praised by the ancient Stoics. In modern society, we can call these self-control, effort, and goal to make things a little easier. Many of the religions and philosophies of the ancient world looked at meditation and removing yourself from society to gain a quiet place where you could analyse your thoughts. Of course, this is great for your spiritual self. However, it can come across to others as avoiding work. The Stoics believed that you could achieve inner peace and at the same time work towards a goal by putting in physical and mental effort. Living in harmony with nature and going with the flow of life means that we still have to use our bodies and minds productively. We can't just sit around and reflect on things 24/7, or we'll never progress. If we look at the ancient Greek myth of Hercules, or Heracles, he embraces his powerful physique and mental fortitude by training and becoming his best self. Through his hard work, he met his goal of undertaking tasks of strength that helped people and even killed dangerous beasts. What do you think would have been Hercules' fate if he'd had decided to ignore the positive traits he was born with? There would be no heroic story, and the people he helped would have been left suffering. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. This is where we should start. Kindness and understanding towards others allows you to build relationships and respect. Denying yourself the abundant luxuries and wasteful pastimes helps build your self-control, so that when you do treat yourself to something nice as a reward, it feels even better. Let's look at some more Stoic ideas. Remember to conduct yourself in life as if at a banquet. As something being passed around comes to you, reach out your hand and take a moderate helping. Does it pass you by? Don't stop it. It hasn't come yet? Don't burn in desire for it, but wait until it arrives in front of you. Act this way with children, a spouse, towards position, with wealth. One day it will make you worthy of a banquet with the gods. What he is describing is the act of control. You are overcoming your impulse desire to snatch the luxury and covet it. Instead, you are waiting to see who else needs it, and if you're offered it, you politely only take what you need to be satisfied. Because you are acting with control, the community around you will realise that you are not a power-hungry, selfish person. In real life, everyday terms, this means that you show your friends and family respect, you're not greedy, and you can feel warm, happy in the knowledge that people you love are enjoying the excess luxury that you have given them to share. On a larger scale, self-control stops us from doing the negative things, the tempting things that we shouldn't be doing. Many people work from home or are self-employed. One of the hardest challenges is to keep on task and ensure that you're scheduling your workload to benefit your clients. This is the same in life. If you find yourself always chasing your tail with a hectic, impulsive, reactive schedule where you're always struggling to keep to your commitments, maybe it's time to flex that self-control muscle and start some mindful self-care. Restrain yourself in little moments every day, and soon the habits will become a part of you. For example, at the store, you may want to buy a soft drink or some candy or even maybe some alcohol. These are not essential, and you're not going to cause harm to yourself if you don't buy them. Resist the urge to get them there and then, but promise yourself in 5 days' time you'll make a list and buy some treats. Maybe even turn it into a night in with friends rather than just sitting at home and snacking. Fighting the impulse, the snap decision in the store when you were tempted, will help you build a strong memory. You can reflect on your decision over the coming days and reassure yourself that waiting was a lot better than giving in. Persist in your efforts. Resist giving in to distraction, discouragement, and disorder. The ancient philosopher explains further that distractions, temptations, will always be there, and as humans we are programmed to be attracted to them. So it's not necessarily about removing all the distractions, because then we're not learning and improving ourselves. It's about considering the distractions we are faced with and positioning ourselves to make better decisions that will benefit our goals. When we think of the word industry or industrious, there are two sides to that coin. You may think of the Industrial Revolution, and the engineering minds that brought about the steam engine and those that continue to develop technology. Or you may think about the industrious labourers who, throughout history, have always put their time and effort into making the world operate. Those people who harvest food, build houses, mend ships, work in offices and call centres. But being industrious doesn't take away from your spirituality and shouldn't be a reason to halt the journey towards your goal. In his Meditations, Marcus Aurelius wrote, "At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself, I have to go to work as a human being. What do I have to complain of if I'm going to do that I was born for, the things I was brought into the world to do? Or is this what I was created for, to huddle under the blankets and stay warm? So you were born to feel nice instead of doing things and experiencing them? Don't you see the plants, the birds, the ants and spiders, the bees going about their individual tasks, putting the world in order as best they can? And you're not willing to do your job as a human being? Why aren't you running to do what your nature demands?" Again, this is about self-control and realising the bigger picture. If you can motivate yourself and discipline yourself to get up every day and carry out your tasks, knowing that there is a larger end goal than just today's happiness, you will find that things get easier. There will be tough days, days you don't want to do your best, days when uncontrollable events test your patience. But focusing on your goal and understanding that everything passes eventually can help you gain more inner peace. Yes, keep on degrading yourself, soul, but soon your chance at dignity will be gone. Everyone gets one life. Yours is almost used up, and instead of treating yourself with respect, you have entrusted your own happiness to the souls of others. Modern humans have the luxury of being lazy. No other animal can afford to spend time not preparing for the future. If you see squirrels hurrying around collecting nuts to store, this isn't so that they can have a nice 2-week vacation with no nut foraging duty. This is because they have to prepare for the winter. Animals need to find food, water and shelter on a daily basis. The majority of humans have developed systems where we need to follow certain rules and processes to keep ourselves fed and clothed. The difference is there is a lack of motivation to do more than the bare minimum because the reward at the end is not worth it. Let me explain further. If you work 40 hours a week as a car park attendant and you live with a partner who also works 40 hours a week in a grocery store, you can afford to go out a couple of times a month to something like the cinema or bowling. You can afford to buy beer and nice takeouts a few times too. At the same time, your rent or mortgage is being paid and you don't have any children to look after. If your boss offers you an extra 5 hours a week, that's 1 extra hour added onto each working day, there is no immediate motivation to take up the offer. This may mean that you have to get a different bus home. You might end up getting stuck in traffic because you finish later, and the amount you would make from 1 extra hour doesn't spur you into action because you already can afford those nice things. If your boss told you that the extra hour was mandatory and that if you didn't agree to it you would lose all your privileges like healthcare, dental insurance and your vacation days, this would shake you into action because it's a major threat to your comfort. We have become used to a base level of security that wraps us up like a nice warm blanket, but it also dulls our senses and our drive to work harder. Do you remember the 3 important building blocks of Stoicism that we mentioned at the start of the video? Self-control, effort, and a goal. Once you have started to build in the small daily habits of self-control through denying pleasures and setting rewards, when you put the effort in to complete a task, you actually need to ask yourself, what is my ultimate goal? We walk through life aimlessly because, as I mentioned, a lot of society has got to a point where there is no immediate goal to survive through finding food, water, or shelter. There is no pressing animal instinct that gives you a goal to make it through to the next winter or to have as many children as possible to further your bloodline. Your goal needs to be something that matters to you and something that you feel so passionate about you will use it as your guiding star through life. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Some people know what they want to be from a very young age, but most are uncertain or change their mind through their adult life. Epictetus also says, "A ship should not ride on a single anchor, nor life on a single hope." Meaning, it's good to have several goals to work towards, because if one falls through or there's a challenge, you will always have others to hang on to that give you strength, that give you hope. Well, this is quite vague, so let's go with a realistic example. A person decides that their main goal is to be a web developer and make money. This isn't so that they can become famous or a millionaire for their own purposes, it's because they want to give to charity. To reach that goal, they then need several smaller goals that they can achieve across the years. Volunteering their time and skills to existing charities, learning how to be an amazing web developer and also how to run a business, making sure that they have a stable home life and a secure base so that if something happens to the business, they can continue to help others. Your drive and your goal should be like a tree. You strive to grow tall and reach the stars, but you also develop a strong root system and branch out to support others. If you have enjoyed this video and you're inspired by what you've seen, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Let's change the world together.